All right, hopefully you all have found our new broadcast stream. It appears that there was a problem with our reporting and they shut down the other stream. So I'll give this a few seconds here for everyone to jump over here. I'll give you guys a few seconds here. I do apologize for this particular problem, as we expected to see issues from our broadcasting capabilities due to the fact that we are dealing with some new issues coming in from Google and YouTube, and apparently that has happened right now. I see some of you are filing back in, so I'll go ahead and start picking up from this. Basically, I was talking about how we are experiencing some cold weather today. This is the first time we've seen snow and cold temperatures. Actually, these are the coldest temperatures that we have seen so far of the season. So we are already experiencing colder weather than usual, but not really that big of a deal. It's not as if we're dealing with feet of snow. Now, however, we are dealing with, if you live in the UP of Michigan, that's a different story. You've had over a foot of snow just in the past several days. But right now, what to expect in the Northeast? Well, it's going to be cold and chilly. Some snowflakes already flying right now in Buffalo, believe it or not. We had a winter storm advisory for the Buffalo folks out there, south towns. This is just a little bit of lake effect snow. Again, the waters are pretty warm. We're starting to see this very cold dominant air, and we can expect to see over the next several days in the Midwest and the Northeast temperatures to finally start acting like fall. It's been a very warm fall so far, in my opinion, over the past several days. How warm, you say? Well, let's check it out. We have Roy Spencer here, and he gives us our UAH global update every month on the 1st. October, the numbers were up from September. Remember, September had a number of 0.25 above baseline. That was September. Now in October, we are looking at a 0.37 in temperatures above baseline. Now, a lot of folks are concerned that this sudden warming is, going against the narrative of what channels like us talk about, and I disagree. I feel like that these temperatures are reflective of where we are in the part of the season for this month. And that is, it's spring in the southern hemisphere, and we are fall in the northern hemisphere. So temperatures are going to be neutral right now. It makes sense, right? Over the next several weeks, we will start to see temperatures drop in the northern hemisphere and continue to rise in the southern hemisphere. How much they rise in the southern hemisphere is yet to be seen, but we are predicted to see a pretty cold winter here across parts of Europe and here in the United States. But again, temperatures at 0.37 above baseline, still down from that 2.0 of runaway global warming. So let's check out our forecast extended. Here we're looking at a high pressure system that has settled over the northern part of the United States, especially parts of Michigan.
And here in the United
That's working.
States.
Good. Here in the Northeast, and of course, like I said, Western PA, Erie, PA, and of course, Erie County in New York, which is the Buffalo area, and they are experiencing lake effect snow coming in right now. So here we have high pressure system settling over, keeping things slightly dry across most of the land. But if you live near the lakes, you could see some snow flurries today. Nothing major. This cold weather wants to hang out through November 4th, continue through November 5th, and it's just this pocket here in the Northeast and the Great Lakes. And temperatures begin to elevate back to a more normal scenario by the 7th of November. And notice that storm that we were talking about that was supposed to take place over here, and let me get my arrow out. AccuWeather had alerted us to a system that was going to be right here, and on the back side of this was going to be snow, and the front side was rain. I don't see this low pressure. This is the only low pressure that's way off the track than what AccuWeather had predicted. So we're going to watch that low pressure system off the East Coast that could be tracking towards the Northeast and is acting like a nor'easter right now. But For the time being, this is not going to make any kind of impact on land. It could create some coastal flooding, nothing major. By the time we get to next Tuesday, 7 days later, high pressure will dominate the entire United States except for the northwest coast. Oregon, Washington, Northern California. You have another system that's going to be impacting you and giving you plentiful rain and snow in the higher elevations. Rain across the Ohio Valley and into the northeast by midweek next week on Wednesday, November 10th. And once again, we start to see that colder air temperatures trying to make its way back into the Great Lakes and the Northeast. But look at this. In the Northwest, a major system is moving across the United States here in the middle of the month. November 11th. It's got snow in the back, rain in the front. So another tease and freeze is what we'll call this here as we go to the beginning parts of winter. And let's see where this snow goes. This low pressure system is really going to clobber the northern plain states. Minnesota, the Dakotas, parts of Nebraska, Missouri, Iowa. You guys will see more snow. Also, watch out, folks, in the UP of Michigan as well. But this low-pressure system moves across the Midwest into the Northeast. And it's showing by the 14th, we could be dealing with some tricky weather here for especially Mari and I here in the upstate New York region. And what I mean by that, looks like a significant amount of ice could accumulate. And will the temperature support this ice? Now, I want you guys to notice here in the GFS that tilt. Once again, this is due to a Greenland blocking. And when we see a Greenland block, we normally get this weird anomaly in the jet stream where we see cold, where we usually don't see cold. And you can see how far southwest this goes. Texas and New Mexico. So we're already starting to see this really annoying cold pattern develop here in the south, here in the Midwest, and moving across through the Northeast. Now, this is Sunday, November 14th. I usually don't give a lot of confidence. I don't really give a lot of confidence in these long-term forecasts because so much can change, just like last week when we talked about the possibility of snow by the middle of this week. Well, here we are in the middle of the week, and we're just dealing with some slight flakes in the Great Lakes area. So no major snow system did not develop. Maybe AccuWeather just needed a little bit of clickbait. But look at Sunday, November 14th. I'm really concerned for the folks in Vermont, New Hampshire, for the most ice accumulations. But this thing looks like it could be a doozy. And look at this. By Monday, November 14th, this could be a major icing event here for the Northeast, folks. So we will keep our eyes. That cold air moves in after this, sticks around for a little bit, and another low-pressure system is predicted to make its way up the East Coast. And that cold air behind that low-pressure system, that's right, going to create some more lake-effect snows for western New York and Pennsylvania. So chances for snow showers are on the up and up as we move closer and closer to Thanksgiving. And let's check out the temperatures. These temperatures are going to support much colder air in the next coming days. Look at the temperature wake up here in Georgia, my friend Jimmy Norton. Woke up in the mid-40s this morning. Again, not exactly ready for that. I'm sure he could have waited another month for this. Daytime highs across the United States, 50s and 40s, 30s in most spots in the Rockies. And that colder air is starting to make its way into the Northeast and the Midwest overnight. We do see a slight warm-up. Pardon me. We do see a slight warm-up over parts of the central part of the United States. But we're talking 60s and 70s, nothing 80s still. We are looking at pleasant weather here across the central part of the United States. Midwest in the 50s and the Northeast in the 40s. 30s and 40s across the Northwest by this weekend. And much colder air overnight as well. So the corners, the Northwest and the Northeast, are going to see the coolest of the coolest. 50s and 60s for much of the center part of the United States. So that is also a relief as well. But as we get further into November, we start to see that last grasp of warmer air in the deep south before this cold front pushes through here by November 14th. And this is where we start to see that ice storm here in upstate New York. And those temperatures are going to support overnight anyway possible accumulation as temperatures will dip below freezing. But look at the highs on Monday. That's right, folks. These are daytime highs here on Monday. Temperatures in the 30s. Daytime highs across much of the United States are not looking good for November. We are talking about 20s and teens, even in parts of the Rockies. Even as far south as the panhandle of Florida, 45 degrees on November 15th. So we are going to continue to watch this cold air filter in from the Arctic later this month as things really look like winter is going to get its act together by mid part of November. And the predictions are already starting to come in for snow on the ground by Thanksgiving, pretty much from, and I'm going to put my arrow, the Northeast, the Ohio Valley, even Southwest Ohio, my brother, you will see a dusting to 2 inches of snow on the ground. In the northern plain states, across the Rockies, we are predicted to see snow sticking on the ground by Thanksgiving. And with these temperatures, and this pattern does not look to go away anytime soon, with these temperatures, I think we'll be able to support that theory if this forecast holds up. Still a lot of time to go. It's only November 3rd, so this is way far out. This is over 2 weeks out from now. Let's check out El Nino region 3-4. We know this is where we find our La Nina situation, and they've expanded the graph. In fact, the graph now is showing 1.5 below baseline, so they are confident that we could see temperatures continue to plummet. I am kind of surprised at how strong this La Nina is to begin with, to start. So as we continue to plunge through this early fall into early winter, it'll be curious to see how much further this La Nina drop goes. Now, right now, it almost looks like things have leveled out at 1 below baseline. If that's the case, this is not a strong La Nina. This is a moderate La Nina to a Modaki, really. A Modaki to moderate is what I would consider this particular system. All right, so that's pretty much our broadcast. We apologize for having to break it up into 2. There was a problem with our YouTube software. Apparently, was not favorable to what they wanted to hear. Nonetheless, this is why it's so important, folks. We are building up our Patreon account right now. If you are not a member of Patreon, please consider it. It is $1 to join. Mari and I will be starting the call-up shows. I know I've been saying that for a few weeks, but we've had some, the house has just taken a little bit longer, and we are getting to the point now where we can start organizing better shows for you. But if you'd like to continue to see our broadcast and the improvements of WTFsky.org, the goal is to have enough subscribers on Patreon to be able to continue to boost our website to where one day we can just rely on streaming from the website and not have to go to the extent that we have to go through here on YouTube and other platforms that seem to not really care for the content that we talk about. Even though I'm just talking about solar cycles and the effects from them, I'm not bringing up any other topic. I'm just simply reporting on grand solar minimum topics and showing you the weather ahead. But with that being said, folks, if you can, please go over to our Patreon, sign up. It's $1. The $1 membership gives you access to the call-in shows. When we have them, you'll get the phone number hours before the show starts. And we encourage folks to call in and give us a heads up on what you're doing to prepare for the grand solar minimum and how you actually started learning about the topic. Also, we'll try to get more interviews and real people, like maybe, possibly, you never know. We might have Valentina on for a Q&A. Who knows? So the future is bright with Grand Solar Minimum, and it's all because of folks like you who support this channel over and over, through and through. That being said, thank you for tuning into the Grand Solar Minimum channel. For our next update, please tune in regularly, and hopefully we should be doing a show tomorrow as well. Until then, everybody stay safe, and we will talk soon.
Do you like this show? Give us a thumbs up. Want to support us more? Share to your favorite social media platform. Buy a t-shirt or become a Patreon. All links are in the description below.